Hey, welcome, welcome. Hey, Lindsay, how you doing, honey?
Hey, excited to be here. Oh my goodness, let's get into it.
Okay, thanks everyone for being here. We've got something really cool to share with you. This is the Change Your MO, Change Your Life Masterclass. It's a complete conscious approach to health, wealth, and freedom, all the good stuff that we're all about. Super excited that you're here. We've got a lot to get through. Really appreciate your time. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Beck. I have been in the health, wealth, and freedom kind of space for 100 billion years. I'm an old girl now. And I guess I found something I really want to share with you. It's super cool. It's definitely been a massive game changer for me. I know people say that, but it actually has really upended me. And I always feel like I was the one doing all the change and helping people. And this has really like put me on my ass, to be quite honest, and made me have a really good look at things and give me massive difference that I did not expect, as well as a whole bunch of stuff that I really was calling in. So I'm super excited about that. And I get to hang out with this gorgeous queen, the Lindsay Lee, who I'm going to get her to introduce herself in a second. But what I wanted to kind of point out that all the 20 plus years that I have done a bunch of coaching and helping people and doing all that sort of stuff and doing my own work as well, what I've really noticed is how complicated I made shit. Like I can be the queen of making stuff so hard, over the top, making it difficult, showing up for everybody, then doing a million hours in the background. There was one job I had for working for someone else, 18 hours a day, every day. And the people who were around me back then will remember I worked myself quite literally till I fell over. Um, so this is the has been the answer for me, where I'm able to make it really that simple. Go out and have a bunch of fun, do shit I really, really like doing, and doing it with people that I love doing it with. So I'm super, super excited to share what it's all about, and handing it over to the gorgeous Lindsay to introduce you as well, honey.
Yeah, cool. It's so interesting to hear your backstory because for everyone, I'll get into my intro in a second, but I do just want to say that Beck, when I met you, you were incredibly empowered and it seemed as if you were like on your mission, right? And I know that there's a lot of people out there who feel like they're on their mission and they're still working really hard and they're still feeling burnt out and they're still feeling that like there's got to be another way, there's got to be a different way, right? And so I think your story is actually so incredibly relatable, and mine is similar but different. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Lindsay Lee. I am in this space, I've been in this space for a couple of years, but now this is basically my full-time space. I absolutely love what we are about to share with you today. This business has completely changed my life in a lot of different ways. It's actually given me my dream life. And I don't just say that lightly because every day I literally wake up and I think I am living a version of my dream life that I never really thought was possible when I was younger. Because my story, it starts a long time ago. So I'll just zip through it. But basically, I worked my ass off for a long time. I was your classic gig jobber. I had multiple jobs to do this, that, and the other thing. I'm multi passionate, but mostly I was always chasing freedom. I was chasing time freedom. I was chasing kind of that like inner freedom of being able to do whatever I wanted, but I wasn't doing it in a way that was sustainable. Like I would work and then I would have some time off, but then I was kind of stuck in that loop, right? And if you're here today, you probably can relate to my story or Beck's story about just kind of being stuck in a certain kind of loop where you work really hard, burn yourself out, take some time off, and then come right back to it. And I know that if you're here, it does mean that you care. It means that you know that there's a life out there for you that could look maybe a little easier, maybe a little better than it is right now. And I really felt that. So I searched and searched for something that I felt like was the solution. And long story short, in that, I kind of started a career in cleanse and detox. And it took me to the beautiful Bali, Indonesia. And I lived on the island and I was doing my quote unquote dream job. And about 10 or 11 months into my dream job, I realized that I had just created the same cycle for myself. So while I was doing something that I felt was really impactful and I was, living in paradise, I was still really burnt out. And I only had a certain amount of freedom in my life. And so I thought there has to be a way for me to be able to do whatever I want while still deeply impacting the world with my heart of service. So you'll see down here, it says I'm a brand queen because now I basically help women build brands online so that they don't have to sell their time and they can do whatever they want. And now I travel the world. Beck and I are in two different places right now recording this for you. So we're really excited for you to kind of not only connect with us, but connect with your own story as we go through this presentation. And I think it's really important to just note, while I talk about the overview really quick, is for you to kind of sink down into yourself right now, wherever you are, and kind of take the posture of open your chest, take a deep breath in, and know that what we're presenting to you has the power to change your life just as much as it has changed ours. So what exactly are we talking about? We are essentially going to present to you the best way to create sustainable, scalable income through what we would call a freedom business model. Essentially what that is, very simple, and I'll go over this in a next slide, but it's high ticket affiliate marketing where you partner with somebody who is already in existence, and we are going to show you what that looks like, and we're also going to show you the pathway to 6 and 7 figure legacy income. Now, I want you to remember this term for later, legacy income. I'm going to come back to that, so just keep that with you. And really, we're going to show you the how. Like, how does this all work? What is this model that we're talking about online? So we're going to dive into it. Beck, do you want to add anything before I go further?
Yeah, I did. I actually wanted to say I had a little reminder from my husband last night, and it comes back to this point of the how. He said, "What got you involved?" Because I've been, looking around at different things for quite a while, and I knew people were doing different things. And what it was the simplicity and the easefulness of it really gets to be that simple to get to have it all. And I'm, me, I love business class. Um, and that's how I travel. I travel a lot and I get to do all this great stuff. But how to do that in a simple way was what really got me into this in the first place, because I'm all up for the easiest way possible or the most simple way possible to have everything. Because basically, I just teach people to have what they want.
Yes. Yes. And it gets to be simple. And I know that people watching can really feel that, right? When we're talking about that. So that actually leads me into this model right here. So I want you to really think about where you are currently at on this scale, right? So in this top left corner, we've got the employee, which is essentially your typical 9 to 5 or your hourly wage. This is where somebody would be trading their time for money, and there's not a lot of freedom over the schedule, right? We've all kind of felt that crunch of being like, ugh, I gotta like show up and do the thing that I just feels really crunchy in my soul, and I want to be doing other things, right? So then often what we do is we move out of this corner of the model over to the right hand upper corner, and we say, okay, we'll all become a business owner, right? You might be a business owner currently. That might look like a brick and mortar, it might look like a franchise. And really, the step up here is that you have leverage over other people working for you, but you tend to need more capital and more time, right? And time is such a precious commodity. So then we kind of tend to swing down here into the self-employed category, where I would imagine that many of us are, including where Beck and I have been before. So this is like your typical coach or consultant. It's selling your time, essentially. So when I said that I had created a version of, my quote unquote dream life, I was living in Bali, I was living in the jungle, and I was going to work on my little moped, and it was amazing. I could afford juices and colonics and healing sessions, and I could afford to do anything I wanted, really. However, I realized that I had just created the same loop because I was still selling my time, right? So I just started feeling burnt out, but just kind of burnt out on another level. So, really, here we want to ask ourselves, are we actually really free? And so, we want to be moving ideally into this bottom corner, the investor corner. And what this means is that we find a way to offer something, even if we're physically not there. Like, the way I like to think about this is, if your shop front could be open 24/7, why would you not have it open 24/7, running on more passive systems, running on automation, right? Having the leverage of the automated systems behind you so that you could be making money in your sleep, or while you're at the spa, or while you're in first class on an airplane, going to a destination that you've always wanted to go to, right? So, this model is really good for you to kind of think about where you're currently sitting, and then to ask yourself some great questions.
Yeah, this is a real changer for me. So some great questions to ask yourself. And if you really sit with this in your whole body, is the way that you are currently creating an income going to pay you for the rest of your life, even if you take a break? Or will the money stop coming when you stop working? And if so, how long do you have until you're broke? So the question, what's your number? How many weeks or days or months or whatever it is, which is really where it got for me. Mine was 4 weeks. If I didn't show up doing my thing for the next 4 weeks, this household went into panic mode. How do you pay the rent? How do you get the food? How do you do the, how do you, all those things. And so, what is yours? What is your number? What is your current situation? How long do you have that if you stop showing up and you went and sat on a beach with us in Bali and did the thing and didn't work, how long do you have?
Yeah. And so, my key to life, something that I feel very passionate about, is the fact that I believe that asking ourselves better questions is the key to having a better life. So, oftentimes somebody will ask, like, what do you do? And I think the better question would be, what do you want your dream life to look like? How do you want to feel? What type of safety do you want in your nervous system with financial support behind you? And I really believe that asking ourselves better questions will lead to a better life, and quite quickly, right? Because sometimes we don't want to hear those answers if they're not the ones that we want. So, we want to show you the true freedom business model. This is essentially, I'm going to break this down so simply. The true freedom business model is really this 4-part freedom model. It's not just financial freedom. Yes, financial freedom is part of it. Yes, money is incredibly important because money is options and opportunity in our lives. However, there are these other aspects of freedom we want to be bringing in: time freedom and location freedom. We hear these ones talked about a lot, so I don't want to go into those ones because I think you get the point. We've talked about financial freedom. I really want to talk about inner freedom. The inner freedom is really what we're talking about when we say that you are free to make decisions in your life regardless of your bank account, that you are free to do what you want with your time, whether that means travel the world and eat gelato in Italy and sit on a beach in Bali, whatever it is. But it's also could be the true inner freedom of you being able to support yourself at home with your family, or through, any type of organic food or anything that you feel like is going to make your life better. We really want to be focusing on that inner freedom, but we can't really get there without the other ones, right? So, it's really important to understand that there is a way to create this. And for us and many other people, it is called high ticket affiliate marketing. Now, I know those words are like, you might be like, I don't know what that is, or I've only heard a little bit about that. What does high ticket mean? I'm going to break this down so simply for you. It really means that you partner with a company that already exists. Ideally, that company has been around for a long time and has a long standing track record. You share about their in demand product on their behalf. Ideally, that product is of gold standard and it's something that people need, not want. And then the third piece of high ticket affiliate marketing is that you simply receive a commission when that sale is made via your referral. That's it. That's how simple it can be. So when we are talking about this model, sometimes I think people's minds can go to a traditional MLM or some type of network marketing. And so I want to break this down really quickly. I will say that I have actually never been in either one of these more traditional network marketing models. But I do think it's important to differentiate how we are built versus other companies. So if you look over in this left-hand screen, you're going to find more traditional MLM or network marketing models are going to have monthly quotas, which comes with a lot of stress. It is often that you're getting to, the last day of the month and you're trying to hit a quota, and then it on the first of every month it starts over. Like, oh my God, like the stress in my nervous system even talking about that sucks. So also with these models, it's very common that people are only making $20 to $100 commission. I just think that that's wild, because I don't even think that $20 really buys us a breakfast burrito anymore, right? So how are we supposed to be able to live on these means? There are often minimums. There's a lot of hustle. There's no legacy. Now, you hear this term, it's coming up again. There's no legacy in these types of models. And it's kind of always seems like the guy at the top always gets all the money. Also, oddly, sounds a bit like corporate, right? So then we're moving over into our model, which there's no quotas. You never lose rank. So as you climb up in commissions, basically your commissions will start going up. They will never go down. We're talking about numbers between $340 and $5,430. I want you to take a moment right now and just think about what it would feel like to make one sale in your business and receive $5,430 for it. Like that to me feels like a game changer, right? So that's really what we mean by high ticket. We mean that the commissions are high and they're not low commissions that no one can live on. It's a one-time investment. And this is what I love. There is willable legacy income. So this means that when you pass, you can will this down to your children or anyone of your choosing. So all of your hard work is going to be a generational wealth building opportunity. So before we get specifically into our offer, I just want to go over what the right offer will look like. This is what you want to look for when you're looking for an offer out there. When you're looking for companies, these are the types of things you want to be looking for. My personal favorite, the triple bottom line. What this means is that it is good for people, planet, and profit. At this day and age, we cannot ignore any of those things. It has to be good for all three, right? It needs to be highly profitable and something that people actually need, not just want. And we ideally want it to have a proven track record. We want it to have gold standard. And one thing that I find very important is that it's recession resistant or recession proof, which means that that legacy income model is coming back around, right? So you get a high return for your investment. And we're not really just talking about the ROI financially, but we're talking about the high return on the health, the wealth, the ability to put a lot of this business on automation and ticking those boxes, knowing that you're doing good for people, planet, and profit. Beck, do you want to add anything before I get into our actual partner?
No, honey, no, keep going. You're doing well.
Amazing. Okay, so let's get into it. I absolutely love our partnership with this company. I could talk all day long on Enagic, so I will keep it brief. I will say that a couple months back, I got to go to the Enagic convention in Las Vegas, and I actually got to hang out with some people who have been partnered with this company since day one. I got to meet the man who actually started this company. And I can say from the bottom of my heart that this company really has that proven gold standard. So what we have chosen to partner with is a 49-year-old award-winning Japanese water technology company. The thing about this company is that they make products that people need in their homes. Everyone needs water, right? Nobody needs makeup or hair care products or any of these kind of other things that you hear as like side hustles. People don't actually need those things, but every single person on the planet needs water, and we need good water. So this business has a global distribution opportunity. That means that your business does not just have to be in Australia or only America or only Canada. It means that you can actually have a business in any country in the world. You could have distributors anywhere. So essentially, it is a medical grade technology. It was originally produced for Japanese hospitals. Japan has some of the highest standards in the world in terms of creating their products and anything that goes out into market. So you always know that something coming out of Japan is going to be some of the highest quality in the world already. And it's medical grade because for the first 10 years of Enagic, they only had these machines in Japanese hospitals because there's a setting on the machine that produces acid water. It's all natural, but it produces acid water that has the ability to sanitize surfaces. And this has been proven by science. So for a long time, these were used only in hospitals. It also produces really hydrogen rich water. Now, I'm not going to go into it, but essentially our cells really need voltage. We really need kind of this electricity, right? Almost as if lightning was striking water and supercharging the water. That's essentially what this machine does. But it also has 68 other uses. So you could reduce all plastics in your home. You could reduce all toxic chemicals. You could reduce cleaning products. You could get rid of everything in your home and just have this one machine. So really what we say about Enagic is that it is a permanent water solution on a very holistic level. And so what we want to do, and I want to make a note here to say that the next step of this process beyond this masterclass will go into this in detail. So I'm going to run through basically this very quickly. Is the products that we would recommend are the K8, which is that flagship ionizer, which is the one that I was just talking about on the last screen. It has those 68 uses. It produces all sorts of things. We've got a lot of resources for you on that. The next product that we recommend is the Anespa. I love the Anespa because it's basically like taking yourself to a hot spring every single day that you shower. The thing that I love about this is that often we forget, we know that, our drinking water and what we're putting in our body is very important, but sometimes we forget that our skin is our biggest organ and we really need to be taking care of that. And we need to not be having junk and chlorine and bacteria going in through our skin. So the Anespa is really that second product that is a home staple. The third product is the Ukon. And that is the wild turmeric, actually grown in Okinawa, Japan, where these machines were created. And it is one of the most powerful anti-inflammatories on the planet, aside from Kangen water, which is produced by the K8. So you've got the powerful anti-inflammatory drinking water, and then you are also helping your body with that Ukon supplement. So you've seen the product in a general overview. And now I really want to get into the income potential, because no life is holistic if it doesn't include having a certain amount of wealth to be able to support yourself and reduce stress in your life, right? So I want to talk about some numbers. In our business, do you remember how I said that you never have to, you never lose rank, you never derank? Once your commissions go up, they don't go down. So I want to show you how simple this actually gets to be. Just 21 sales total in our business will have you earning between $2,400 and $5,400 per sale. I want you to just let that sink in. It's not 21 sales per month. It's not 21 sales over and over again. It's 21 sales total to be making that type of income every single sale, which means that with our strategy, it's actually only 2 to 4 sales a month to make a 5-figure month, right? Like, raise your hand if you think that you could make 2 to 4 sales with an automated system that's helping you, including doing sales calls for you, to make a 5-figure month. Now, where I am, I love using myself as an example because I think that's the best thing to do. So I've just popped this in here for you to know that if I have 15 to 20 sales going through my organization, I will have a 100K month. There was a long period in my life where I dreamt of having a 100K year, right? And now I'm looking at the ease and the possibility of having a 100K months over and over again. What I will say about Enagic is that it is a direct sales company. So you could technically build this business completely on your own, and you can come up alongside people and build together. And so that's what that means by group sales. So not all those 15 to 20 sales would have to be mine direct. They could also be indirect sales. And we teach you in depth about that strategy to get you really going fast in the beginning. So I know a lot of you are visual out there. So we popped these in here. And I know on this, you're not going to maybe know what these words mean. You don't maybe know yet what 1A, 5A, 6A, trifecta, all of these things don't have to make sense to you. We've popped this slide in here because we want you to be able to see the income potential. Now, I want your eyes to track over to the K8 quad commission plan. And I want you to go down to those bottom numbers, that 4A, 5A, and 6A, where it's saying like 3,620, 5,430. Again, using myself as an example with where I am at the business, I am at those types of numbers coming into my business. I've dedicated my life to showing this to other people and then mentoring them along the way, because I've seen firsthand that it's really possible for people who come from all different backgrounds. I didn't come from a family with money. I didn't come from a family who says that they're rich and just expects everything. I had to work really, really hard to get myself to a place where I was willing to understand that this type of income could be mine. And it's really changed my life to be able to see this. And I know for Beck as well, when she saw this, it really got to change her perspective. So again, don't think too much about the numbers here in terms of what is 6A, what is 6A 2-3. Right now, all I'm doing is bringing you back to the legacy income model that I told you to remember. So there is a certain rank within Enagic where they will pay you for the rest of your life monthly, no matter what. And really, this means that you could still be you're still making commissions off of your sales. You're making commissions off of your indirect sales now that you've built an organization within the company. But aside from that, the company has recognized you as a leader and they are paying you $5,000 a month for life. So just think about what that might do for you, right? And I will say that I actually have friends, like good friends in my life, who are at these what we call the dashes. They are at legacy income for life. And a few of them have actually recently just had children, and they know they can rest easy. They know that their children will also get this willed to them. Enagic is simply built different. The compensation plan is patented, so no one can actually recreate it. And the company has a 400-year vision. I don't know about you, but that kind of blows me away because I don't know of another company that has a 400-year vision behind it in terms of serving its people and getting to put money in the pockets of their distributors. Something that I love about Enagic is they've actually never spent a dime on marketing or advertising because they believe that it's better to put that money in the pockets of real people like you and me. So these types of numbers here, 5,000 a month, 10,000 a month, those are very, very doable. And we have the exact action plan to get you there. So I want to just slow it down here for a second. I've given you a lot of numbers. I've given you a lot to kind of ignite with. And now I want you to bring it into your heart. I want you to really feel the possibility for this in your life. If you want, let's start over here on the right-hand side where it says, let's just say it's 100K. Like you want to say, okay, the first 12 months, I want to make 100K. Yes, let's do it. Now, that is only with the strategy that we teach, that is actually only 15 sales per year, which means it's only 1.25 sales per month. Now, again, do you think with all of the sales strategy that we give you and the automated system that it might be possible for you to make 1.25 sales per month? Because I think so. Last month, just to kind of give you another example, I put 22 sales through my organization. So let's bump up here to, okay, now we're thinking big. We're getting in it. We're juicy. We're feeling this in our hearts. So I want us to move over into earning $1 million because we're big thinkers here, right? We're fire queens and kings, and we're thinking big. So if you want to earn $1 million in this business, right, on direct sales and indirect, so not all just yours, it would only be 149 sales per year, which is only 13 sales per month. That's only 3 sales per week. I know that this is so possible with the strategies that we teach. And this is why I want to put these numbers in front of you so that you can really bring them into your body. So how do we do it? I've used the word leverage. I've said, oh, there's an automated system. Okay, Lindsay, what is that? What the heck is that? So I'm not going to go in detail into it because, again, the next step of the process actually teaches you this in depth. It also allows you to go through the automated system. And it's very important to know that anybody can go into this system and really learn about these next steps in detail, right? So basically what this means is that you create content or you do ads on social media. Now, I like to broaden people's perspective here just real quick, because I think sometimes people can just get stuck on like, oh, it's just Instagram and maybe I don't do that, or it's Facebook and all my friends and family are on there. We teach strategies that are so far beyond just, us posting on social media, but there's also tons of platforms. There's Pinterest, there is Twitter, there is LinkedIn. There's all sorts of ways that we can leverage this business. But essentially it starts with you making content and making connections, being in conversation with people. And really then you bring them to a free masterclass, such as the one that you are watching right now. And then that puts them into a discovery process. This discovery process and then the subsequent business specialist call that they do, those two things will serve as the sales process. Everything is automated, so it takes all of that stress, all that pressure, and all that time off of us as the distributors, while the person interested in the business is going through this process and they're actually getting a really kind of A-grade, high-class education. I know that the platform can actually just teach it a lot better than me. And also, I don't want to sell my time, but it's also more efficient for the process to do it because it's a lot better than how I could just do it on my own, right? And I know that as busy entrepreneurs and people who have a lot going on and we're wanting to fulfill our dreams in life, we don't want to be stuck on hours of calls. We don't want to be teaching hours and hours at a time. We want to be putting people through a process. And then basically what happens is somebody invests in their business and they get to launch their business. And we then bring them into a community and some mentorships. And essentially what we like to say is your business is yours, but you're never doing it alone. There are so many ways that you can learn. I know that, Beck, you might have a little bit to say on that before I kind of go further?
Yeah, absolutely. One of the biggest things for me was walking around and say I was selling this yellow highlighter going, do you want one of these? Oh no, okay. Do you want one of these? No, okay. And I feel like that old school way of selling was what put me off. And I have done some different ones with MLMs and different things like that. And that's why it didn't work for me. And I think the part you were talking about with what we, I guess, is conscious wealth creation, right? We're creating it at such a different level, which is like a higher intelligence for me. And being in this prosperity collective with you and a group of amazing people that are already at that level, really changed that mindset from I'm trying to flog something to selling an individual thing to it's actually go out there and be and do what you want to then have the thing, rather than go out there and have this thing that everyone and then eventually I get to be and do something. So I really got that at a different level. And I think for people watching this to get to that point of it's almost like it's too good to be true, right? You actually just go out there, have fun, do what you want to do, and share it with the world, and everyone gets to come plurking, which I always term this my play work as plurking. And you get to plurk with cool people if you want, and you get to do it, however you want to do it. It's just such an interesting, I guess, different way of doing a conscious wealth rather than just a business.
Yes, the conscious wealth model is so important. I'm so glad that you brought that in, and really understanding that we actually get to be, do, have versus the other way around. And I know that there are a lot of people out there who have really been conditioned to work really hard for something, work like really, really hard, right? Like me, Beck, we all, yeah, like that was a lot of our stories ingrained as well. And I have really been unlearning a lot of that story because of this business model, and understanding that I still get to make a huge impact in the world, and I don't have to sell my soul for it, and I don't have to feel burnt out. I actually can live my life and be who I am and embody exactly who I am and receive for that. And really, the way that we do that is we leverage social media. People like to buy from people. Like, you like to be in conversation. I like to know who I'm dealing with, right? So authenticity and vulnerability really go a long way. And the skill is so valuable, but skills get to be learned, right? Skills get to be learned once we have the vision. And I think that's really important, is that we've now mapped out a vision and the roadmap. And then the skills are actually something that you get taught along the way, while also utilizing the sales systems and the tools, right? It's like, it's no more lone wolf. That was my MO for a long time. My MO was like, I'm the lone wolf. I can do it. I've got it done. I'm this, I'm that. And I'm like, I am a wolf, but I'm not alone. I have a pack, and I don't actually have to do it all. Wow, what a concept, right? So we can learn from those already doing it. We can learn while in being in community. And again, like I said in the beginning, your shop front stays open 24/7 because of the automated systems. So obviously you can do things like community, in-person events, all those sorts of things. We're always kind of finding fun ways to get together, but really that's just because we're all kind of badass and we want to be together and we want to have fun. So we get to have world meetups and flirt together. So your next steps, if there are any questions, and then I'm going to hand it back over to Beck. But what I do want to say is, for one, thank you for giving us your time. And I know that this has probably unlocked some questions for you. You might be thinking, okay, what's the next step? You might be thinking, whoa, wait a minute, hold on, I got to see those numbers again. I really want to understand that, right? So what I want to reiterate is that the next step of the process really has all of that information for you. You don't have anything to lose by looking at the next step, because it could be something that actually changes the trajectory of your life. And so we will guide you into that process, and we will get you to go through a process where you see a couple videos, it will break it all down. So I would encourage you to stay really in that space of curiosity and say, wait a minute, like, let's break this down a little bit more. Beck is here, I am here, you can reach out to us and we'll get you started with that next step.
Cool. Thanks, sweetie. I could listen to you explain this, and I just, for anyone listening to this, I had absolutely no idea how to do any of this. Like when I got in here, Lindsay's so together. She knows how she's doing it, what she's doing, and she's helping so many people. And I just felt like I keep falling forward into it and going, look, I'm learning this, and oh wow, I didn't know that. So you haven't got to have it all together to get involved at all. And I guess there was a lot of people wanting to do this business, and they contacted me and wanted to sell me the idea, and I was a big no, actually, originally, for quite a while, as Lindsay knows. And I actually wasn't ready to work with people who weren't self-responsible. So I've decided to only work with people who want it, who want to do something, who, I'm a fire person. I get in there, act quick, do stuff, right? So I want to work with those people. I like clerking with people who have big dreams and big ideas, and stretch me and push me as much as we can do that and work together. And that's why I chose working with Linz, because she's been able to go, here's your stuff, off you go, figure it out. And she's there if I needed to, but not in my face if I don't, which was super important for me because I work best like that. So if this is something that you're really, really interested in, like, hell yes, I want to do this. I want to go play. I want to go clerking. I want to go from business class to first class and have a friggin' epic life. We are doing a bonus strategy call and offering a couple of different things here for quick action takers, for those who are like, want to just get in and find out the next step. So if you partner with our chosen profit offer, within a week of watching this, we are offering a 1-hour strategy call with one of our awesome leaders that might look a little bit like Lindsay to get you right into started up to action, right? So if you're sitting there going, this is all very well, great guys, but like, how does it work for me? This is it. So you're going to find that out, right? Your strategy call is going to help you get so how does it work for me bit? Because that was really important for me. I was like, this is great. I don't know how to do it. So that answers that part. We also have a 30-day fast start membership where you are supported to launch a business and just get it done within the first 30 days. This was epic for me because this was yep, great, got the 1-hour call, know what to do. Okay, now what happens? And that 30 days fast start membership did it all, which was amazing. So we're if you're doing this within the next week, we will give you that as well. And an immediate access to the Prosperity Collective community, which has got this amazing group of consciously aware wealth creation, helping each other, support. People are so generous in there and helping each other and working together. So you'd be part of that epic community as well, which is global because we're all over the world, which is fantastic. Did you want to add?
Amazing. Yeah, I just want to say that to get into these communities is often, it's a game changer because you're learning from people who have already done it. And you're learning from people who are at those legacy numbers and they have planned out the roadmap. I like to say that there are strategies that we implement in this business right now that actually we didn't exist a couple years ago when I started my business. So we're always learning and refining, and we're bringing the best strategies and the best stuff to people like you who are going to get started in the next week. So we cannot wait to see you inside, and we're really excited to show you those next steps and show you the power of the automation and how simple that gets to be, so that you know that you can implement that in your own business and your own life as well. So thanks for being here.
Cool, thanks. And so reach out, whether it's myself that sent you this or whoever it is that sent you this, reach out to that person and find out more on your next steps. And we hope to see you come plurking. Thanks so much for being here, guys.
Bye.